First, would like to pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to the 16 Karmapa, and homage to Master Tupten Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, Mahasriya. And also homage to the four guardian mothers and the Dakinis of the 8 directions and the Dakinis of the 20 heavens and the 5 longevity celestial maidens. Simu, Tuten Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma assistants, temple directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet, and all participating VIPs today. From Academia Sinica, the academician Professor Zhu Siyi and Mrs. Zhu. And from the Zhongshan Medical College Affiliated Plastic Surgery Department, the head of the department, Dr. Zheng Senlong. And from Hong Kong Chinese University, Professor Tham. And True Buddha School medical groups and scholars group. And Law Advisor to True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou and Mrs. Zheng Pei-Fu. And the General Manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizhen. And from Kaohsiung, the Hua Tou Guan Yin Temple, the Abbot, Ms. Ma Huaying. And the Abbot of the Wuji Xuanqing Tang. And the rep to the Council of Penang City.
My university same classmate, Zhu Jinshui 先生及夫人陈泽霞女士。
Mr. and Mrs. Zhu Jinshui, President of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, Master Chang Ren. Producers from CTI TV Taiwan, Kenny Tiansang Xinzhen, Ms. Rebecca Shiachi. And producers for the Great Perfection Dharma, Hevaja Exposition, Development Stages of Tantrayana, Lamdre, and Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lien Yu. And the hosts, Master Lien Hai and Dharma Sister Pei Jun.
My sister, Lu Shengmei 女士, my sister, Lu Guoying 女士,
Miss Lu Shengmei, Miss Lu Guoying and her husband.
这是感谢的。
And thank you for their
打斋
donations.
10万元，
Dharma Sister Su Pei Ling, $100,000 NT.
张培二
Dharma
师兄
Brother
打
Zhang
斋
Pei
10万
Er,
元，
$100,000 NT.
梁永新师兄
Dharma
打
Brother
斋
Liang
10
Yongxin,
万元，
$100,000 NT.
郑少林师姐打斋10
And
万
Dharma
元，
Sister Zheng Shaoling, $100,000 NT.
今天有一位可以讲有一对吧，
And today
特别的贵宾，
we have a couple of special guests,
没有登记这个
but
贵宾，
they didn't register
没有登
themselves
记贵宾，
as the
他
VIPs,
是某一个国家的，
and they
某
are
一个国家的，我也不要讲出他们的身份，
I would not mention their positions
他
here.
们是贵宾。
They did not register themselves as VIPs, yet they are VIPs.
大家晚安，大家好，大家午安，大家好，你好，大家好，唔該晒。
How do you do, everybody? Thank you.
Selamat petang.
Selamat siang. Selamat petang.
Sawadika. Kamsahamnida.
还不行啊。
Domo konnichiwa. Good afternoon. 少几多一几多一几。秀姬师姐跟我讲，
And Dharma Sister Xiuji told me
华文
that in France,
她跟我讲一个比较正
in
确的发
French,
音，她不是讲
the more appropriate pronunciation is not merci beaucoup. Oh, bonjour.
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 华文，她跟我讲 bonjour， 我不知道 bonjour 是什么。
I don't know what that means.
午安呢
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir is good evening.
这个 Hola amigo, te quiero mucho. 今天这个要说法以前，先跟大家讲。
Prior to the Dharma teaching today, I would like to say that tomorrow afternoon
在广喜堂
will be at the Guangxi
现在
Leizang
他们已
Temple.
经盖好了，在桃
Now
园
they have built a new temple
最
in
接
Taoyuan.
近叉叉的一个堂，一个雷藏寺
Our temple that is closest to
最接
Chata,
近
to
应该
X.
想起来，桃园那地方都很接近的。
But generally speaking, anyone in
不用紧
Taoyuan
张，
is quite close.
一
But
切是平
please
安吉祥。
don't be nervous. Don't be anxious. Everything will be fine and auspicious.
一切都非常好。
Everything will be
他们那边
fine.
是要开光的哈。
They need consecration of these images, and they need a ceremonial boundary, and they said that it's very
然后又要
important.
传这个
And I will transmit the golden light mantra and the visualization and the talisman and also the cleansing method of the 9 phoenixes. So if you have time, please come by to Guangxi Lezang Temple and just visit and check it out. That's tomorrow afternoon. Should we talk more about X? I'm tired of it. Just think of it as a joke. One time, X went to Calgary in Canada. In Chinese, it's called Ka Cheng, but not Ka Cheng in Taiwanese. To perform ceremonies there, she was there, and there was a Dharma sister lay, and she belongs to the Pumen chapter in Hong Kong. Oh, she's the head of that chapter in Hong Kong, Pumen chapter. And she generously invited X to stay at her house. And X told Dharma Sister Lay that the earth god at your home told X that he's been waiting for her for 500 years. And Master Sao Tong said that the establishment of Canada is only 150 years, but the earth god has been waiting for 500 years. It was quite a misery because he wanted to take refuge and to increase his spiritual fruition. And he's been waiting for her for 500 years. When I heard that, I thought that 500 years ago was the Ice Age, and the earth god must suffer a lot waiting for her there. It should be the glacial age or era. Why didn't she say that it was 50,000 years? Then wow, China only has 5,000 years of history, and yet he was waiting for 50,000 years. So the earth god is really suffering, and we are empathetic toward him. Nothing else to say. And there was a Dharma brother from Hong Kong, and he's been to Cha X place, and then he couldn't sleep and had hallucinations, hearing things and feeling things, and eventually he wanted to jump off the building. Mr. Sao Tong, Master Sao Tong, how did you give him the phone? No, not the phone. He talked to him on the phone. Amitabha, everybody. there was a Dharma brother that made a phone call to me, and he said that he had a dream, and saw a lot of images of X, and he hadn't gone to work for 1 week, and he went to the top of the building and wanted to jump off the building. And then he made a phone call to me, and I asked him, so can you chant the Akala mantra? And usually he chanted that, and he said, no, I don't know. But do you remember the Sujun Grandmaster? Yeah, he's my lineage root guru. So do you know how to recite the root guru mantra? And I asked him to please sit down. And I asked him to chant Om Guru Lien Sung Siddhi Hong. Santian. And then he continued chanting for 3 days, and then finally he recovered and didn't have such a thought anymore. So someone that was about to jump off the building to kill himself was saved. And Master Changzi from Hong Kong also heard of that case, and also Master Changren, right, knew of this. He had climbed to the top of the building and wanted to jump off the building. And Master Saotong asked him to chant the Root Guru mantra, and he chanted it, and gradually he calmed down, because every time he closed his eyes, he would see X and all the ghosts, groups of ghosts following her, asking him to jump off the building. But he did not. He was saved. He's here now. So he's here at the Taiwan temple. So please remember, when you have anxiety, when you cannot sleep, when you feel like someone's asking you to jump off the building, please don't, because that meant you would go to the XX Chachafu. There are so many cases like this. When I heard Zhao Shaodong told me, and a few other people, and asking people from Hong Kong like Master Changren, Master Changzi, and they both knew of this case. And there are many more that we are not aware yet. But there's one thing that I like to tell you, I like to remind you. People who came back from X to Grandmaster here, what I heard was they wanted to get on the bus to come to the Taiwan temple, and they were rejected. Many people did not want to have them on their buses, so they had to charter their own bus. These people were used to be at X place, but now they have returned and come back to Grandmaster. But yet they were rejected by many people because they were scared. So they had to charter their own bus to come here. When I heard that, I felt really bad. Because they have come back and been repurified, so we all should help them instead. We should be empathetic toward them. We are all human beings and we are all fellow disciples. And they may not have done anything wrong. They come back here to Taiwan Lechang Temple and they ask for repurifications. It's okay to let them get on the bus. You let them join your bus, and on the bus, please visualize that Grandmaster is sitting on top of your heads and recite Om Guru Lien Sung Siddhi Hum, then you would be fine. And I thought of another thing. There was a Dharma sister, Lai, and she went to America, to Texas. She didn't go to the Mi'i Lechang Temple in Houston. And this Dharma sister was just with a few fellow disciples from Mi'i Lechang Temple. And after that, she started to lose sleep. And she lost a lot of weight. She was fine before and she continued to lose weight. And recently she has recovered. And she was just be with the Mi'i Lechang Temple's disciples. So what happened? So this is a kind of germs that are infectious. Don't know what should be done. But I would like to say, please visualize Grandmaster sitting on top of your heads and continually chant Rut Guru mantra and let Grandmaster handle everything. Everything will be taken care of by Grandmaster because Grandmaster is untouched by any germs and poisons. If you have disturbances, you just ask them to go find my Guru, Grandmaster. That's all you need to say. Why Grandmaster is untouched by all poisons and toxins. When I just got back, Reverend BN was very kind-hearted, with good intention. She would make chicken essence for me to drink every day. But at that time, there was a chicken flu in Taiwan. Bird flu or chicken flu. Bird's flu. Chicken flu, and yet she made the chicken essence every day for me to drink. So I had the chicken's flu because my Chinese zodiac is chicken. So every day I would crow like a rooster. So it's like I got the chicken's flu, like vaccination. And then I don't drink the chicken essence anymore, so I start to eat the beef steak. Now I drink yogurt. Every night I would eat yogurt. Many disciples offered yogurt to me. That's too many of them, so I continue eating so much yogurt. And then I heard that Taiwanese cows are infected with tuberculosis. So my chest are sour, are sore. Because yogurt is made from milk
这个全部都是乳制品。
and cheese is made from yogurt, and they're all dairy products.
很多人供养我 yogurt，
Many people offered yogurts to me,
我就吃了很多。
so I ate a lot of yogurt.
得到牛的肺结核，
So I got tuberculosis from the cows.
有时候，
So sometimes I would.
无缘无故也会再生一下这样。
With no reason, I
牛
would
既然得了肺结核，
cough a
吃
little.
鸡蛋吧。
So because the cows got
我每天
TB,
绝对
so
吃
I
2个蛋以
eat
上，
eggs,
每天吃2个蛋以
chicken
上
eggs. So every day I eat over 2 chicken eggs offered by disciples every day, and I eat the spring hot spring eggs, which is half
这
cooked.
几天的新闻你们看到没有？
And recently, have you watched the
这是
news?
世纪剧毒啊，
The
世纪的
worst
剧毒
toxins of
戴
the era. It's called
戴
dioxin.
奥辛。我吃了多少蛋？
And I don't know how many
告诉你哦。
eggs I have eaten.
从我这个优格，我在吃优格的时候，就接着就吃蛋了。
Yogurt and
吃的蛋有多
eggs.
少呢？
So how many eggs have I eaten?
半年是多少个蛋？半
So
年。
how many eggs
半
for
年，每
half
天
a
吃
year?
半年，
360 eggs.
每天如果平均2个、3个吧，
So on average, 3 a day.
500多颗蛋。
So 500 eggs
哇！
in
我
half
这
a
下
year.
子啊，这剧毒在我身上，
So I collected all those toxins in my body, and all so many ghosts
还有很
that are
多
looking
很
for
多的
me,
这个做法在我身上。
and there are many spells and curses
这个是
on
人
me
家要做杠头的第一个目标。
because I am always the
第一个
target
目标人家
of
第一个
other
想到我
people's
一定
black
给我做杠
magics
头
and spells, because people always think of me when they want to
所以
cast
现在已经
their
变成
curses.
百毒不侵，
So thank to them, now I've trained myself to be
永北啊，利润啊，
untouched by any poisons and toxins.
这个功力越来越强。
That I'm becoming more and more powerful. I become the untouchable.
真的啊，
So really,
一
good
切
thing.
都还好。
Everything is
谢谢
still
大家的
fine.
加持，
Thank
谢谢
you
大家的祝
for
福
all of your
还有
blessings
那
and
些那个
well
什么
wishes,
叉叉福的加持啊，
and also blessings from
还有
X
叉
or
叉的
Cha
这个
Cha
很多
Fu,
的加持，非常好。
and also from
这
X.
个因为得了这个精神病，所以精神就越来越好。
Once you suffer from mental disease, then your energy, your spirit's getting better and
好
better.
不谈了，不谈了。
That's
谈
just
下去
jokes.
还得了？
Okay, that's it.
没有时间。
We have not much time if we
这吉
continue
祥
on
天
this.
呐
So
吉祥
Mahasri,
天啊，跟大家讲吉祥天了。
let me talk about
吉祥
Mahasri.
天，这个就是在西弥山的半腰，
She's on the halfway of Mount Meru.
是在西弥山的半腰，北方
That's
多
the
闻天王
Vaishravana,
很内
Vaishravana
就是吉
heaven,
祥天。
which is the heavenly
在
king
金
of the
光明
north,
经
is
里面
also
可以找
there.
得到啊，吉祥天。
And you can see it in the Sutra of Supreme Light.
佛问吉祥天，你住哪里
There's a
呀？
dialogue between the Buddha and Mahasri. So where do you live? And she said, at my brother's place. And who is your brother?
多
My
闻
brother
天
is
王的北
Vaishravana.
方的天宫很大，
And that's
非
the
常绵长，
north palace of Vaishravana, which is huge. And there is the meritorious hall. So Mahasri said, that's the place where I live. So who is she? She would bestow auspiciousness, Mahasriya, the great auspicious heavenly lady. And Mahasri also lives in the meritorious palace, so that's why she's also called the meritorious heaven. And the Buddha said, as long as you make offerings of pure, clean offerings to the Buddha, and you call upon Sakyamuni Buddha's epithet, and Mahasri will bestow upon them. That's how great Mahasri is. There are 12 celestial goddesses that are called Mahasri. They have 12 names. So when we recite the Taoist mantra, there was the 12 auspicious 12 streams, and they are all Mahasris. And Simu, Master Lian Xiang, is also emanation of Mahasri. I have met 12 of them. Just now, when I invoked them, there were 12 Mahasris that descended. And then the divine goddesses from the longevity heavens, and the goddesses from the 4 guardians, and also the celestial goddesses from the 8 directions and from the 20 heavens. So all these Dakinis came earlier. So the Homa today is extremely wonderful. So we can say that all the goddesses, all the Dakinis gathered and descended and danced in the sky. And all the heavenly flowers, the celestial flowers, were showered just like the raindrops. And someone took a picture of Simu. Who did that? Master Lian Tian took a picture of Simu. And it was all the bright white light. Simu became a white light. When I was lighting the Homa fire, so her whole body became a ball of white light, because Mahasri Devi is white, and her mudra is the open lotus mudra, and you visualize her. And she's also the heaven of wealth and riches, and you visualize that the wealth are thrown to your hands when you visualize Mahasri throwing the wealth and riches to your hands. So the meritorious heaven, auspicious heaven, and Vaishravana heaven. I have taught this Dhamma practice before. The mudra is like the open lotus, the shortest mantra, Om Mahasriya Soha. It's easy to visualize the Mahasri from Japan. She looks like a goddess. She's holding an auspicious fruit. and her right hand is the wishful feeling mudra, and her left hand is holding the auspicious flute, and she looks like a goddess, and the whole body very beautiful and dignified with all kinds of ornaments. That's the Japanese style. The Tibetan style can subjugate. She's riding on a horse, and there's an eye at the buttock or of the horse, and she can look forward and backward, and she can subjugate all kinds of evils. She's different from the Japanese style of Mahasuri. At my home in America, there's a Mahasuri at my living room, and she was offered by Reverend Lien Mu from Taipei, Yen Tong Temple. Reverend Lien Mu. Since now the statue is at the living room of the Southern Mountain Abode. As you entered into the living room, you look to the left, and that's the Mahasri and Sakyamuni Buddha are enshrined there. She has many Dharma practices, divination, and she will give you dream divination, and you can take the five color thread that has to be knotted by a virgin. So a five-colored thread that's knotted, and when you chant her mantra 108 times, and then you tie a knot, and then you tie a total of 12 knots, and then you place the knotted thread at your pillow when you sleep at night, and then you ask her a question, and then she would reply in your dream. Will my work succeed? So she would descend at night and tell you in your dream. So, will my job succeed? So you recite Om Mahasariya, so 108 times, and then you tie a knot, and you tie a total of 12 knots, and then you place the knots, the thread, next to your head at night, and you ask her the question, and she would give you the answer in your dream. Whether your career will succeed or not, and what kind of challenges you will face, you will be told in your dream. So if you pursue a lady, she can tell you in your dream too. So remember, it has to be knotted by a virgin. It's hard nowadays to find a virgin. So let me tell you, you can do this. You buy a 5-color thread, and then you recite the purification mantras, and then you recite 1,080 times of purification mantras, and then you pass the thread on top of incense smoke. Then that's the same as cleansing. So the thread would be cleansed that way. There's a hobby of Mahasuri. She likes cleanliness. So in chanting her mantra, you need to brush your teeth first. You cannot chant her mantra with a bad odor. You need to smell and see if your mouth and your teeth are fragrant and clean. So Don't
我也是最
keep
最
the
怕
hygiene.
最怕口臭
Otherwise, when
我
you
天
talk
不
to
怕地不怕
Grandmaster, Grandmaster would
我
avoid
最
you.
怕口臭
I'm not afraid
你
of
做
heaven
法
or
给
earth,
做
but
法
I'm
给
most
师尊你用
afraid
口
of
臭
the
做
bad
法给我
odor.
我绝对怕死了我绝对跑
So the worst spell that you can cast on me is the bad odor.
他喜欢干净
She likes
你要念他的
cleanliness.
咒先洗澡
Before chanting her mantra, you need to bathe,
整个
brush
弄
your
干净
teeth, wash your face, and
把你身
clean
上的排泄
yourself
物全部排
completely.
泄掉
And
你才好好念他的咒
excrete all the excrements,
有一点
everything.
污秽
She likes cleanliness. If
她不
there
跟
is some
不跟
filth
你玩
at all, then she would not descend. She would not come to play with
这
you.
是吉祥天女她最喜欢干净
So Mahasri Devi likes
你可以念咒
cleanliness very much. She's very
念这个吉祥天女的咒
meticulous.
结了12个打了12
You
个结
chant Mahasri's
然
mantra
后绑
and
在
tie
男
12
生呢
knots,
可以绑在他
and
的
for
肚
the
子
man,
男生
you can
绑在他
tie
的
it
肚子或
around
绑在他的腰际
his waist or tummy,
晚上会怎么样
and at night,
不会梦泄
then he
人听有
will
无
not dream of emission
不
anymore.
会梦泄你就不会梦泄了因为你干
So
净
he will not
不会梦
ejaculate
泄
in the
不会
sleep
做春梦
because he's clean
晚上
now.
有一个女的过来
He will not have dreams of
你就
sex.
这个半夜啊像我们阿兵哥啊半夜要洗
Like
床
there are
单
many soldiers that have to wash their sheets and underpants at night because of the emission
啊
during
肠
sleep.
子上是长脑懂了
So the Venerable
年轻的时
Elder
候啊
Master
年轻的时候啊
Changzi, do you know?
军人啊
When you were
你
young,
念这吉
as
祥天女咒
soldiers,
打12个结
you chant the Mahasri mantra
可以
and
治
tie 12
你的
knots
梦泄
and then tie them
可
around
以治你
your
的梦泄
waist. It would stop
女
you
生啊
from nocturnal
要生孩
emission.
子你跟他
And
求
for
一样的
women,
12个结
all the same, you pray to her with 12 knots
绑在你
and
身上
tie them around your tummy.
命中若有终须有梦
So if it is
命中没有
destined for
莫
you,
强求
then you
你
would
打了12个
be
结
pregnant. With
在
tying
这一
12
年
knots,
里面一定会有身孕如果
then
有的
you
话
would become
命里
pregnant
面有的话
within
一定它今
12
年就会来
months. If it is in your destiny,
这个
then
特
it
别
will
好
happen to you in that year. So this is a very special dharma.
啊它有很多的法了
She has so many different
那还有
dharma
占卜的
practices,
活化
divination
的请吉祥天
and
女
throwing the trigrams, asking Mahasri to take charge.
所有
She's
梦
good
中
at
法
this.
五色线梦事
So
法
dream
对
guidance,
习斋
the
对
five
求
thread
财也有本尊
guidance
你看师母哦
and
她是大
asking for
福
wealth
金刚的
and purification. Look at Simu. She
吉祥
is
天女
the
你看她
Mahasri
去
with great wealth.
看吧她去新加坡
Vajra.
到了新加坡雷
See,
藏寺
she went to Singapore
新加坡雷
to
藏
the
寺的号
Singapore
的
Lechang
那个门牌
Temple,
号码是29号
and the
开
house
出来
number
的
is
奖
29.
2929
And then the number for the lottery winner was
她
2929.
到了狮城雷藏寺
And then she went
狮
to
城雷藏寺的门牌
Sichen
号
Lechang
码
Temple,
是117
and the house number is
三个
117.
字不成啊一定要4个字啊
But there are only 3 numbers,
再加上一个
and they
七
need
字
4 numbers.
7
So they add 7, the number 7. So it
狮城
becomes
雷藏寺的门牌号码是
7117.
117哦开出来的号码是7
So the lottery number that won the first prize was 7117.
这个新加坡很多人中奖，都是中。
So many people won prizes in Singapore through the 4 numbers.
新竹福佑雷藏寺
At Hsinchu, the Fuyu Lechang Temple,
高雄住19年了。
during the Dharma teaching, I said, I live in Kaohsiung for 19 years and Taichung for 19 years.
1919啊，
And people from Singapore and Malaysia thought, well,
全部中
good
奖了。
number, they bought 1919 and they won prizes.
啊，师尊是大佛金刚，
So Grandmaster is the Vajra with great wealth, and Sumu is Mahasri. See, so many people won prizes. It's true.
啊，5点52分。好，
It's 5:52 already. Jeez.
哎呦，今天的道果要讲一下吧。又持
Now we
众
want to talk
受
about
惠
Lamdre a little bit
软极道
and about
厌
the
极
path
道
of warm accumulation and the path of experience
极道那个
accumulation.
读作软吗？
What is the warmth accumulation mean?
软极道，指
How
世
do
间
we
道
pronounce
以
that
下
one?
分别前行
So
等
the
三
path of warm
软相
accumulation refers to the meditation in the worldly path
其余
that arises from the 3 kinds of warmth
不
in the
论
preliminary
现起决定的
practices,
景象
whether it arises from hallucination or
有
non-meditation,
漏神
or
通
appearances
等
due
共
to
任何
existing
功德
conclusion,
皆不坚固
clarity due to
意
decisive
为果
conclusion,
而已
any kinds of merits from leaking transcendent
它这里面
powers
提到
are all weak and unstable, although it has some slight
分
self-benefit.
别前行
They are
就
not
是说
generated through the
在修
development
法的
stages.
前行当中
So,
会出现的3
in
种
the
软相
preliminary part
所
of
设之
your
就
practices,
在禅定当
there are
中
3 kinds of
出
warmth that
现
would
了
arise
前行的3种软相，
in meditation.
其余不定之妄相中，那个不属于真实的软
But
相。
it arises from hallucination, so it's not the real
无论
warmth
现起决定的景
phenomena.
象，你也可以看到景象，
And you can also see some
它有
visions,
产生光明，明相就是产
and
生光明，
it can
这是有
generate
漏的神通
light that's
这
still
种
leaking
任何的功
transcendent
德
powers.
通通都不是
And
坚
this
固
kind of merit is
啊
not
刚开始
strong.
是这样子，
It's
利
not
益为我
stable.
而已
That's at the
依非
beginning.
依非
The
次
benefit
第而
is
生
very small, and they are
有些
not
时候
generated
那
through
当
the
你禅定
development
的时候啊
stages.
出
So what
现
it
感觉
meant
到哪里
is
热
in meditation,
就是软相，
you feel some
哪
warmth.
里有光明
So that's the
就是明
warmth
相。刚开始前
phenomena.
你做了
And
3
if you
种
see luminosity, that's also some kind of phenomena. So 3 kinds of meditation,
这个
the warmth that
世
appeared
间
from
道
it,
以下
that's below the worldly
所产
path.
生的。有时候我们运动的时候，身体也会热，
Sometimes when we
这是软
exercise,
相。
we would feel
你
warmth.
有时候眼睛一
That's
闭也可以看
warmth
到光明出
phenomena.
现。
And sometimes when you close your eyes, you see light,
看光
but
明
they're
有一次看
unstable
到以后
and they're
就
not
消失掉
strong. And sometimes you see the light and then it disappears.
这个都是
And
不
then you
坚
see
固
it again and disappears again. So that's unstable, it's not strong. So when you exercise, you feel warmth.
热禅定产生的热，但是
And
这个
in
热有时候
meditation,
会
the
产生
warmth
热
that
有时候不
arises
产生热
sometimes there, sometimes not.
这一种都不是真实的，
That's not
就是妄想，
real.
看到
That's
了也是
all
妄想，
illusion.
看到
And
了
whatever you
这
see
一
at
种
this stage
当然
also
也称为
illusion.
神通，但是叫做
Of course, this is
有漏
also
神通，
called
有漏
supernatural power or
不属于
transcendent
坚
power,
固的神
but
通。
they are
这
leaking.
样子来
They
讲，
are not considered
通通不
the
坚固的
robust
利益
or
也
the
为
strong
我，
transcendent
也不是
powers.
次第而生。
So the benefit is very
你虽然
slight,
有打
and
坐，
it's not
产生
step
了
by
哪里
step
热哪
through
里
the
热，
development
有时候
stages.
热，有时候不热，有时候有
Although
光，
in
有
your
时候看不到
meditation,
光。
sometimes you feel
那是一
warm,
个过
sometimes
程，
not, sometimes you see
过程。
light, sometimes not. It's just part
不要
of the
执着那个
process.
过程，
And
你要
don't be
继
so
续
attached to
在
that.
修这个
You should
后
just
面讲的这
continue,
个。
which is
如
mentioned
果在
here.
出世间道
In the
名
out of
为
worldly
厌习
realm,
道，
it is called the path of
厌习道，
experience
就是有厌，
accumulation.
有真实
So
的
there
厌象。
is a true
若以外相
experiences.
外厌相现起明点，内厌
They
相
are real and
现起
authentic if the
真
outer
如
spiritual
厌相
experiences arise
现
to the
起
appearance of light
神
drops.
通等一
If
切
the
功
inner
德真实
spiritual
无拘，
experiences arise to the
贵
appearance of
就是
qi,
叫做
and the
厌
ultimate
习道，
spiritual
有厌的道。
experiences arise to the
这个
appearance
是
of the
外
mind,
厌相
then
现
the
起明点，
transcendent power
你
and
可以
all
看到
merits
虚
are
空
real
中
and
有明点
authentic.
出现，
So the
虚空中有
outer
明
spiritual
点出现，
experiences
就
is
是外
you
厌
would
相。
be able to see light drops in the sky.
有一点一
That's
点的
the
白
outer.
点出现，
You can
就是
see
外厌相。
like drops of white
然后呢，
lights.
你内厌相现起的
And the
气，
inner
你知道
spiritual
气坐在哪里
experiences
你懂得，你吸了
is
一
the
口气
appearance
进
of
去，
qi.
你这一口气在
You know,
丹
when
田，
you inhale the
这个
qi,
这一口
the
气
qi reaches
下到内
dantian,
轮，你知道，
and then you know.
这一口
And
气
then when the
到了
qi
心，
goes
你也知
down
道
to the
它
secret
到了
chakra, and
心，
you know. And
你
when
也
the
知道
qi
它到了
reaches the
喉，
heart chakra,
你
you
也
also
知道
know.
这个气
And to
已经到
throat
了眉心
and to
轮，
the brow, and you
或者
know
这个
where the
气
qi
已
is,
经在你的右肩，
or it's on the
或者你
right
的左
shoulder
肩，
or left
右
shoulder,
肩跟左肩，气走到哪里，你都能够知道。
and you know wherever the qi
这个叫
goes
做
to.
气本身的
And
厌
that's
相，内
the
厌相
experience
现
of
起
the qi.
气，这个就是智慧气。
So that's
真如
the
厌相
wisdom
现
qi.
起心，真如
And
厌
the
相现
true
起心。
suchness spiritual experiences, or the ultimate spiritual
就是
experiences,
说，
arise
你
to the
的
appearance
厌
of the
相，
mind.
你的这个心已经
So
化为一朵莲花，
the
莲
mind
花当
or
中
the
又有
heart
光明出来。
has transformed to
有一个光明
become
出现。
lotus blossom
你如
that
果能够
opens,
真实
and that's light
在
generated
里
from
面
it.
真如，也就是佛
If
性
the
佛
true
性，你的
suchness
心里面
or
已
the
经
Buddha
出现了
nature
佛性，你
has
自己知
appeared
道
inside your
这
heart,
种现象，这种神
then you
通
know that this
才
kind
叫
of
做
spiritual
真实无
experience,
虚。
this kind of
神通
transcendent
等一切
power
功德
is
是真
real
实
and
无拘，
authentic.
这个叫做厌极道。
So this is called the
啊，
path
今天跟大家
of
讲这两样，
experience accumulation.
给大家解释这两样。
So that's my explanation for today.
这是老师叫大家造句，这是一个
The
笑话。
teacher asked the
请各位
students
同
to make
学用
sentence.
目的这个
This is a
词
joke.
造句。
Use
小明就
the
讲，
word 目
你是
的
我见过的最
or
漂
the
亮
goal.
的老师。老师说
And
谢谢，
someone said,
但是目
"You're
的
the most
呢？
beautiful
小明讲，
teacher
我希
I've
望
met."
今天早一点
And
回
what
家
is the goal? The goal is so that I can go home earlier today.
这个小学数学课，
At the
老师
math
正在
class
教
in the
除法
elementary
跟小
school,
数点。
the teacher is
老师
asked
出题，
is teaching
假
multiplication
如我有
and
10颗番茄，现在要
decimals.
平分给7个人，
If
请问算术
what is
该
divided
怎
into
么写
7?
只见小明懒洋洋的回答：“老师，
How would you
全
write
部
it
打
in
成
math?
番茄酱就好了。”
tomato divided for 7 people, how much would that be? And Xiaoming replied, tomato sauce. So in Lamdre, the real one are divided, are classified as the strong and authentic transcendent power, but they are also the elusive and elusive transcendent power. And what they see is just an illusion, but they think and they believe they are real. So they are being tricked. So as we know that you can connect or have some supernatural power due to the ghosts, because you're employing ghosts, and they're all illusory, and what you predict would be wrong, what you say are wrong. So I can consult here. So was there an earth god in Calgary that's been waiting for X for 500 years? Is that really the case? Not at all. No such case at all. I can check anytime. So at any time I have that strong and authentic merits. And that's authentic. But if you cheat and fabricate, there are lots of problems that you can see. There are lots of holes. So now I'm asking, can you let go of all those ghosts so that behind you instead would be gods with bright radiance, or bright bodhisattvas and bright Buddhas? Why instead you employ ghosts, those 5 heads of the ghosts? You can even enshrine Mahasri or the longevity goddesses or the 5 great Herukas. You can have them as your protectors instead of those ghosts. Don't you know that behind you are those ghosts? See, I've told you very clearly that that person that was going to kill himself is that he saw it. Behind you were really dark, all dark spirits behind you. Why do you still worship them? Because you have so much hallucinations. There was a villager man that went to the wedding party and he didn't bring his denture, so he couldn't eat. So he felt very uncomfortable, and there was an old lady sitting next to him and said, I have lots of dentures from my late husband. Could you come by and maybe borrow one and check and select one? So he went to her house, and when opened the drawer, there was a stack of dentures and found one that fit quite well. And so he had enjoyed the banquet. And the second day, he cleansed the denture and returned it to that elderly lady, and replied, it's good. So, and asking her, he is
阿婆很害臊的
the denture makers,
不是啦，无啦，
and the
不
lady
是啦，
shyly
就不塞
replied,
啦。
"No, he's
就不
not,
所有死人的牙齿全部都捡起来，
because
放在他
he's the
家里。
collector of all the dentures of dead people."
我们捡的是要捡真的，
So what you
你不要
collect
去捡假。
should be the real
同样
one,
都是
not
牙
the，fake
没有
one.
错。
They're both teeth.
神是有神通，
The
鬼有
gods
鬼通。
have supernatural power. The ghosts
佛
too have
本身的神
supernatural
通，
power. But the
当
ghostly,
然是无边
the
际。
god has
菩萨的神通
godly
很大，
supernatural power. The
阿罗汉
bodhisattva has
至
great
少有三光，
supernatural power,
有三种光
and
会显在他
arhats
的菩
would
提上。
at least emit 3 kinds of
那你
lights
叉
on top
叉
of
为
their
什么要去
heads.
挑那个
But X, why do
死
you
人的牙齿？
choose the
去戴呢？
dentures of dead people?
稍微想一想看，
So think
我们
about
牙
it.
科那么多，
We have so many dentists.
啊，像这个莲吉上师的儿子，
Like Master Lian Ji's son.
莲吉上师呢，
Where is Master Lian
哎，
Ji?
贝尔牙科，啊，他是贝尔牙科。那贝尔牙科很
The
多的
Bell
牙齿
Dental Clinic.
去做，然后去
There
戴，
are many
啊，
teeth
去戴起来，
that you can
这个是正式的
make
牙
and
科。
wear.
那你为
That's
什么
a
要去
true
捡死人的
dentist.
牙齿戴在你的？
Why do you
戴在你的牙
want
齿
to
上呢？
pick the denture of a dead person to wear? You can
通
go
通
to a
可以
real
用，没有错。
dentist. Of
但是
course, you
你
can.
那个是鬼
They
通，
can all be wearable,
都
but
是妄想，
the supernatural power that you
有
have
漏
is
的
due
神
to the
通啊，
ghosts.
都是
They're all
错误的，是
hallucinations.
妄想。
They're leaking transcendent power.
啊，有一位 Miss 进照相馆，问老板，
A
我的
lady
相
went
片
to
可以放
the
大吗？
photo studio
这个
and
老板接
asked
过底片
the
说：“可
owner,
以呀，要放
"Can
多
I
大
enlarge my photo?"
？”Miss 回
Sure.
答：“别的不要放大，眼
Don't
睛要放
enlarge
大1倍，
everything. Just
胸部要
enlarge
放
the
大3倍，
eyes
这样就行了。”
one time and the breasts multiply 3 times. And the rest
这也是
stays.
真假，对吧？那是真的跟
This
假
is
的。
also talking
你
about
放
the
大就
real
要全部放
and the
大，
fake. So if you want to enlarge, you enlarge
你不能只
everything.
有放大那个地方，
You cannot just enlarge that part.
只有放大那个地方，那是造假。
If you just enlarge that part, then that would be
啊
fabrication.
告诉大家，
That's
查的
fake.
造假非常
So
的
the
多，
fabrication of acts is
是
extremely
每天
horrendous.
都有故事，
There were so many of them. There's so many
天
stories
天我都听
told
听得
to
到。
us that we got so sick of hearing
你
them.
带领你的那些人，
So I hope
好
that you
好
would
走
bring
向
your
真
people
正的道路，
to walk
不要
on
再
the
去走
right
那些妄
path
想的道路。
and don't
我们来
walk
背后
on the illusory deviant path of Mani Padme Hum.